All right, let's go to Marty Smith on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. You saw him last night at Auburn Arena. How are you, Marty?
I'm awesome. How you guys doing? Good morning.
Doing great. Dunaway asked, I knew the answer to this because I was texting with you last night. Dunaway asked, is Marty joining us for Auburn or is he already home? And I said, Marty got up early this morning.
Yes, I am home. I got back to the hotel from the arena around 11:15. Jumped in the bed, trying to go to sleep. It's funny. I don't know what it is. I used to not have any problem, like, quote unquote, coming down from a game or whatever from work. But all of a sudden I'm having this issue. So it took me a little while to fall asleep. And then I left for the airport at 3:50. So,
Marty.
Now, do you fly out? Where do you fly out of? Out of Atlanta?
Columbus, Georgia.
Columbus, Georgia.
And that's got a direct to Charlotte?
Yes, they have a direct to Charlotte.
Wow.
2 flights a day, and one is at the crack of dawn, and one is the last bird in. Have y'all ever been to the Columbus, Georgia airport?
I have not.
Honest to God, I've lived here my whole life. Didn't know they had one.
Yeah, I was shocked when you told me that's where you were flying from.
You put that airport on like a jacket. It's so small. You don't walk into it. You wear it.
Do you have to get on the plane upstairs like a hostage, or do they have the?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, they actually had a jet bridge and everything. I was thoroughly impressed. That's the first time I've flown in there. I've always been in Atlanta, flying to Atlanta for if I'm going down. But this time I thought, well, I'll try this Columbus, Georgia deal, and it was fine. They closed the rental car facility at 6 p.m. So getting a rental car is a bit of a challenge when you land at 9:40. But it's all right. We figured it all out.
Marty, I'm looking at a picture, just a Google image of the Columbus airport.
Yeah.
All the planes out in front have propellers, Marty.
Mine was a legit jet.
Okay. All right.
It was a jet, man.
All right.
So, Marty, watching this Auburn team, look, we were talking about the SEC best conference in college basketball right now, and it's been a long, long time before you could say that. I truly believe the 2 best teams in college basketball are both in the SEC in Kentucky when fully healthy. And Auburn, to me, when they play like they play in spots last night, it's almost an unbeatable team.
They have so much depth. I mean, it was interesting talking to Walker Kessler after the game last night about this team and its evolution, and he started just naming names. And he's talking about Jabari Smith. You're talking about NBA lottery pick. He's talking about him coming over from North Carolina. Talking about K.D. Johnson coming over. Just an amazing group of young men. And Kessler's line was 14 points, 12 boards, 8 blocks, 4 steals.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. And not only, that's the numbers, but he affected the game, the entire game. And Alabama made a hell of a run. I give Nate Oates and those guys credit. They made a hell of a run at the beginning of the second half to get back in, and he told me at halftime that what they were going to have to do to get back in it was get back defensively and start making shots. And, man, did they make shots. Javon Quinterly was fantastic. Jaden Shackelford is a phenomenal player, and they got some guys on the interior that played really well last night and affected a lot of shots and rebounded the ball well. Look, Alabama's one of these teams that could win a national title if they get hot. They're one of those teams that if they're making shots and can go on a 4 or 5 game run during the NCAA tournament, I'm telling you, it could happen. And coaches have said that to me. I'm not making that up out of nowhere and bloviating for no reason. But Auburn just has so much depth. They're very well coached, and they have great cohesion together and a lot of talent. So it was a tremendous performance last night. They weathered the storm early in the second half when Alabama made the run, and then they just ran away with it with intensity and aggression. They got some guards that are really fun to watch, and they should go a long way in the tournament, too. It's a fun team.
Marty Smith is with us from ESPN. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. These guys are totally different personalities. I say totally, maybe they're not. But you lived one of these. You saw Frank Beamer build Virginia Tech out of nothing into a national power. Is Bruce Pearl the basketball version of that at Auburn?
Well, you're right. They couldn't be more different in terms of their personalities. But what he's done at Auburn is, I mean, it's remarkable. And he's in this perfect storm scenario now where, Louisville came along and put Auburn's administration in a position where it's like, all right, we got to pay this dude. And they're number one in the country for the first time ever. And so he's really living right now. He has the players. They have the culture. And I asked Jabari Smith yesterday during shoot-around, when you can go anywhere, why here? I mean, there are people saying he might be the number one pick in the NBA draft coming up next summer. And he said, look, there are coaches here at Auburn who played here and played at the next level, so they've somewhat walked in the same shoes I'm walking. He said, and then there's BP. That's what his players, Bruce Pearl's players, call him BP. He said, then there's BP. The energy, the passion. He didn't promise me anything. I had to make sure that I work every single day to maintain the positioning that I have in this lineup and continue to improve as a player. And that's what we always say about Saban, right? Guarantees nobody anything. I don't care if you're Bryce Young, the number one quarterback recruit the highest rated recruit they've ever had a quarterback there, or who you are. It doesn't matter. Everybody's going to get the same opportunity, and you not only have to earn the opportunity, you have to earn the right to keep it. And that seems to be, according to the players, kind of what Pearl's done there. There's something else, man. They want to. This particular team. I talked to KD Johnson, too, yesterday at shoot-around, and he was talking about the 2019 Final Four team and how everybody talks about that team with such great reverence. And he said, we want to give them something to talk about, too, forever. And they certainly seem like they have. If they can stay healthy, they certainly seem like they have the formula.
Hey, you grew up in ACC country, so you remember, the late great venues of Carmichael Hall with North Carolina, University Hall, Virginia, when they were really good. Obviously, Cameron Indoor still, but Auburn Arena. I mean, just seeing that atmosphere, going back to the Kentucky game, seeing it last night. Where does that rank with some of those great ACC arenas?
It was a great atmosphere. They were super loud. You guys know me in social media. I don't use it very much, but I'm actually looking up something, so I'm seeing some of the stuff that people wrote to me last night, and I guess an entire report that I did on the mask nobody even heard it because the crowd was so loud, and so that tells you a lot. Our microphones are pretty powerful devices, but they were loud and they were in it, and they feel like they're part of something. I mean, this is a new era and a new dawn for Auburn basketball, and everybody there feels like they're part of something, and they are part of something. It was an awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, and listen, hats off. I was there on Saturday. Hats off to basketball ops because they all work together with the student section to create a great environment. Not shown on TV, but I've seen it on social media right under the 4-minute timeout. We know the history between Alabama football and the crane pose from Karate Kid. And Auburn basketball sort of, thrown that back at Alabama right under the four timeout. Marty, you were there. They queued up kung fu fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. The entire student section struck the pose and froze. And then when the song kicks in, they started bouncing around. I mean, that's just good game day ops right there. I don't care which side of the rivalry you're on. You got to tip your hat to that. I want to ask you one question, Marty, before you get out of here about NASCAR. I mean, what the hell are we doing at the LA Coliseum this weekend? I'm going to watch it. I guess that's why they're doing it. But they've turned the football stadium into a NASCAR track? Oh, I mean, how expensive is this, and who's paying for it?
This will make some of your listeners happy, all the ones that say go back to NASCAR. I'll tell you what they're doing. They're trying their very best to kind of reshape this thing. And Ben Kennedy, the heir apparent, Lisa Francis' son, was driving down the highway a couple years ago and saw the LA Coliseum from the highway and went, I wonder if we could race cars in there. Wow. And when we first heard about it, we thought, well, maybe they'll run the cars through there. on a road course idea or something, street course or something. But no, they put 14,000 cubic yards of asphalt in the LA Coliseum, built a quarter-mile bull ring, and they're going to try to put 20-something cars on it. I imagine it's going to be all hell breaking loose. It should be very entertaining, and if it works, and NASCAR is very confident it's going to work. If it works, they feel like it's going to open them up to an entirely new opportunity. And I hope it works. I want everything good for that sport. I'm going to be watching too, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. I think the drivers will enjoy it. They love old school short track racing like this. And there's going to be some stuff tore up. Welcome new race car, because there's going to be some stuff tore up.
And when you say opens up a new door, you don't necessarily mean the Los Angeles market, but you mean maybe a stadium tour like hockey does with their outdoor games, where they do that at different stadiums around the country?
Correct. I think they believe that if this thing works, then it opens them up to the opportunity to maybe take it elsewhere. And they're so confident. I was seated at the NASCAR Hall of Fame induction with all of those NASCAR executives, and they are so excited and they are so confident and optimistic. And look, I commend them. They're simultaneously trying to grow and do new things while also reaching back to the roots with Nashville, with Wilkesboro. And so I commend that, because that's what it is. Like, NASCAR is the Southeast. Yes, it's a national sport. It is, but it's a Southeastern sport. We feel it's ours, and so I appreciate that they're trying to kind of cultivate those roots too, and I think that's important. I think it's important to the fan base.
Now, Marty, according to Vegas, there are three guys that are right there at the top, favored to win the Clash at the Coliseum. Can you give me those three guys?
Denny Hamlin.
Yep.
This is just off the top of my head.
Denny Hamlin is your favorite at a little over 6-1.
He would be the person, if I was a betting man, that I would consider to put my Benjamin on. Although Benjamin might be a little rich for my blood. Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch is fifth. He's the fifth longest odds right now.
Kurt Busch.
I don't see Kurt on here. Kurt's down the list a little bit. Kurt is 25-1. You can get pretty good price on him.
Dude, somebody needs to take that bet.
There's my Benjamin.
He is in a new car. You know, he's in a new car with a new team. He's driving for Michael Jordan and Denny now, so that could be part of the reason that those odds are what they are.
It won't be a new car after turn one, Marty.
No, it'll be a scrap heap at the end.
No doubt.
Now, who are they, Lance? Who are the three?
So Denny Hamlin is your favorite. Go ahead.
Chase, is Chase one of them?
Yeah, Chase Elliott is number 2.
You got to put old Harvick in there, don't you?
And then a guy that we've had on the show before, Kyle Larson, is your
he's good everywhere.
Favorite.
He's good everywhere.
Yeah, I can see it. He's good. That doesn't matter where he is or what he's driving. He's good. I'd put my money on the 11.
All right, he is Marty Smith. Go follow him on Twitter at Marty Smith ESPN. He's going to hang up and go take a nap now. Thank you, Marty.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great one.
All right, buddy. You too. Take care. Could actually hear Marty's voice. I think he's ready for that now. Marty with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.